इस्लाम-ए-खलूस नाजरीन प्रोग्राम मेहमान-ए-खसूसी में डॉक्टर अख्तर संधू आपकी खिदमत अक़दस में हाजिर। आज जो हमारा मौज़ू सुख़न है वो है इल्म और सनत का बाहमी ताल्लुक़ क्या है और इसका मुइशत के ऊपर क्या असर है, क्या किरदार है मुइशत में। दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक दैट academia industry collaboration and its impact on economy. So in studio we have two guests and scholars with us, and the first is Dr. Mehmaan-e-Khasoosi, Rector, Talon Institute of Higher Studies. Thank you very much for the time. The second, our guest, Professor Dr. Lina Thieu. She is from Malaysia and she is a scholar, professor, University Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering, and it is her first visit to Pakistan. Yes. And we welcome you. Thank you so much. So we start our discussion with a question. Dr. Mehmaan-e-Khasoosi sahab, collaboration between industry and academia, how you see the situation in Pakistan?
Thank you so much, Professor Akhtar Sandhu, and thank you, Talon Media team, for this opportunity. If I look into Pakistan and then if I compare it with the time that I have spent over 2 decades in Europe and US, then I see that academia-industry collaborations in Pakistan still need significant effort to bring it at par with the Western university system, particularly US education system. There are some developments in the past. I mean, last 10-15 years has been very dynamic in the Pakistani education system with the perspective of academia-industry collaboration, but still I see there is room for further improvement. At the moment, universities in the big cities, they are working very closely with the industry. However, universities and academic institutions of higher studies in the small cities, they are far away from that. I mean, at this day and age, we cannot make excuses that we do not have, let's say, big companies in our city, that's why we are not able to collaborate. In the day of information, in the day of when internet boom is all over the country, 90% plus students and fellows carry the smartphone in Pakistan. So that means 90% population in the higher education system has access to internet and all the global resources. Now what is needed basically, people need to go into the online mode to make the most of the opportunities with the local industry. Now, when we talk about industry, it does not mean that company has to be MNCs only, multinational companies, or global organizations working in Pakistan. It is fine to work with a small organization where only 4 or 5 people are working. It is totally fine to go into SMEs. It is totally fine to go with sole proprietorship, because there is a plenty of business that they are growing. If I look into the area where we have Talon Institute, it is located in the heart of the city, center of the city, downtown area, and all the big markets of Pakistan are just surrounded by our. If you look into the Shala market, billions of dollars business is taking place on regular basis. Then if you look into the commodity exchange market, that's just a step away from our institution. So I think there are many opportunities for students, and we are working very closely in this area, that I'm going to place my students in the local industry, in the local market, to study that first and be part of the local system. And it is totally fine. I strongly favor that Walmart is supposed to be here in Pakistan, Amazon's operation should be there, Alibaba is supposed to be there. At the same time, I think we really must not miss the local business models, because these local business models are going on from centuries in this part of the region. So that's what I think. I mean, while we are thinking into collaborate with foreign organization, we must not miss the opportunity to collaborate with local SMEs as well.
Okay, Dr. Lina Thieu,
yes, sir.
Thank you very much for sparing time.
So much.
And you are first time in Pakistan. So what are your feelings? I think yesterday you landed in Pakistan. So you have observed surroundings, environment, traffic, Lahore. So what are your feelings?
I'm so happy. This is the first time I came to Pakistan. All of my friends was telling, Alina, are you sure you are going to Pakistan? I said, yes, it's 6 hours flight. Yeah, are you sure that you want to meet the Pakistan people? I said, yes. Yesterday night I arrived, it's quite late. They're very friendly, even when I go to the immigration centers. They are very helpful because I need to call someone to fetch me up, and then they said, I asked, do you have a Wi-Fi? Because all of the airports, they must have they used to have the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And the immigration staff was telling me, you need a Wi-Fi, I can share with you. In my heart, wow, you are very nice. Seriously, like we are foreigners that the first time we came to Pakistan. And then this morning when Professor Doctor was fetched me, and then I was like, oh my God, I see these places, it's like home. They are very welcoming, they are very humble, and I didn't feel like I'm out from Malaysia. I'm very happy here. So hopefully I'm going to stay here, Prof. Eh?
Yes. Pakistan is your second home.
Yes.
That's very a good opinion about this, and definitely whenever you will visit Pakistan, you will find the same environment and love from the people and the academia people. So what do you think about the academia industry collaboration? What is its importance? What is its scope, according to your opinion?
For especially like for Malaysia, yeah, because I came from Malaysia and academics wise at the university, what I can see is like Pakistan, and actually I'm from Indonesia. My mother's we are from Indonesia. Then I work in Malaysia. So when I came to Pakistan, it's almost like Indonesia, that they want to develop to go for the more knowledge what we are having in Malaysia. So what I came here is like Pakistan, they have their own culture, they have their own technology, which is like us, Malaysia, we would like to, and we love to learn together under the like research, as what we say, that probably we can share and we can collaborate under research, or maybe in the academic wise, which is that they have the same subject, they have the same program, which is like bachelor in computer science. We have bachelor in computer science, but probably like in Pakistan under Prof. Doctor, he has a very specific and skills, as what he said, that skills more to the students, which is they will learn more when they, while they are studying, they are having their own skills and interns in their own home house university. So when they go out, most of the organizations and company, they prefer to have students or the staff or employer who are more in the skills than a theory. As what we have now in Malaysia, we prefer the students to have more skills than they are sitting down in the classroom and learn to expand.
You are visiting Pakistan. For how many days you will stay here, and what is your plan actually, and especially in the perspective of collaboration with the universities?
I'll be here for 1 week. We'll visiting a few cities until Islamabad. The first one is in Lahore with Professor Doctor, and we will explain and to give more information and knowledge about what are we having, what program that we are having in Malaysia, which is can help, can improve, or can be shared with each other. So another thing also like a students exchange, which is we need to learn the culture of Pakistan's students, or what they study, how the way that they learn something. So it's the same that we would like to invite the students to go to Malaysia to learn about their program, the academicians, and even the culture, because the technology that we are having from the different country is different. Yeah. When I went to China a few years back before the conflict, I was surprised because when I watched in the TV, we saw it like, okay, when we saw Indonesia, oh, it will be like that. In China, it will be like that. In our mind, China might be far from behind. But actually their technology is very good, which is I was a bit surprised that they have that one. So we have exchange students from there. So that's why I told Prof. Doctor, we can work together to bring a few students from overseas, then we can learn from each other about the culture, the knowledge, what they have, something like that.
So, Dr. Qureshi Sahab, you have international exposure, you had been studying in UK, then America, then you have visited many countries. So you have international exposures. So do you think that Pakistan is so much rich in technology and in other advanced technologies that we can create such an environment in which this collaboration would work and beneficial for our youth and for the academics?
Okay. Professor Sandhu, thank you. It's a very good question. Actually, when it comes to ICT, information communication technologies, we really do not need a very big or huge infrastructure. All we need is a talented software engineer with a very good laptop and internet connectivity. If we can provide that to a young student, then sky is the limit for them. Then the whole world is under their palm. So what we needed at the moment is basically to have interaction with foreign universities. Because no doubt, I know I have visited many Malaysian universities, and the amount of work they are doing in information communication technologies, they are just dynamic. Professor Lina's university is doing great work in game development, in software engineering. Now, gaming is a most important industry in the information communication technologies in this day and age. The highest amount of business is done on the game development, and the highest amount is spent by the consumer on the games, playing online. So huge market, which we have not touched yet. If you look into last year's export of subcontinent's country, Pakistan only earned $2 billion or close to 2 billion from the software export. If we look into India, our neighboring country, they earned over $150 billion from the software export. Now, and if you look into India, Saudi Arabia, they earn around $109 billion by exporting the oil. Now, if we compare all that, if we spend more and more money on our youths, so we can be like India, we can be like United States. All we need is just an environment and exposure to students. So the purpose to invite Dr. Lina here is that Talon Institute would sign an MOU with University of Malaysia Computer Science and Engineering, and that MOU would help us to send our students and faculty to Malaysia, where they will be interacting with our students, with our faculty, working with them in collaboration to make a difference in our own education and economic system.
Dr. Sahab, this is a wonderful attempt to go ahead for this collaboration. But I am focusing on Pakistan especially. Do you think that our industrialists are interested to create such an environment in which collaboration between universities and industries is possible?
That's a very good question. Actually, I think the problem is not from the industry side. I mean, I have spent all my life in higher education, and I know the problem is on the education system side, on the institutional side, academic institution. Industry is very welcoming. Industry is waiting for the universities to go and work on their projects. But academic institution, unfortunately, do not have the capacity at the moment. Let me tell you in front of the camera and very honestly. We know what's going on in our classrooms. We know the level of competence and qualification as well as expertise of our faculty. it's not the fault of the faculty. The problem is institutions have not spent the required amount on the faculty development. If you see, I mean, how many times we send our faculty member on faculty development program in a year? Maybe not even in once in every year. If they are doing, if somebody is attending the conferences, they are spending their own money. Their local institutions are not playing probably a very big role or dynamic role. I mean, I know when I was in the US, I was a student over there, I was in California. During my PhD program, I had 9 trips from San Francisco to Massachusetts, to Cambridge, to attend conferences at MIT. Each trip was costing around $8,000 to $10,000 US. My university was paying for all those expenses. Okay, so I mean, if you look into the 9 trips, $10,000 average expense, that's $90,000 US. How many universities in third world or in Pakistan at least are spending even $900 US on the exposure of students? They do not. So I mean, the one reason that universities have not focused on their endowment. If they have not focused on their endowment, they will never have enough money basically to spend on faculty development. So this is another area we really need to look into it. So potential is there. I mean, I strongly believe if we give opportunity to our young faculty and students, they can do the wonderful job. I mean, this is how India has done. If last year's export is 150 billion US dollar, there is some mechanism, there is something going on at the back end. I mean, the most important thing that I strongly believe, there must not be gap between student and faculty. They must work as a friend. Student must not hide when he or she is looking into their professors. They must go further closer to them because they are real buddy kind of environment.
So I think that economic or prosperity is the main issue. If our youth is provided some funding or some research projects, so they can perform well.
Definitely, absolutely, I totally agree.
So, Dr. Leena, some people are going to Malaysia for education from Pakistan.
Yes.
And you are coming from Malaysia to Pakistan to have MOU with different institutions.
Yes.
So what is the best way for our youth, whether they should join your program or what they are doing on to go to Malaysia for the education? Or both are beneficial for the students?
Actually, like you see, some of the students after their high school, they would like to expose themselves to the other country. And Malaysia is the nice place, which is we have Muslim, we have Chinese, we have Indian, we have 3 religions there. So and then for Muslim for Muslim students, they feel, oh, I still feel home. Then they go to America, which is that it's hard for them to get food or something like that. Then some of the students like what I would like to do with Pakistan, which is with Talon, with Professor Doctor. We need to collaborate together. That's why we want to do the MOU. The collaboration is under academic or even with the faculty, which is come out with the research. Because some of the students, they can have their program here, they can have program in Malaysia, because we are still doing under online. So we can put it like 2+1 program, so the student either they want the full program together, study here, or maybe 2 years here or 1 year in Malaysia. Or they would just want to have a small short courses program, which is what we have, like, okay, game development or cybersecurity. Here they have cybersecurity, but it will be different from Malaysia's, from UNIMA, University Malaysia of Computer Science and Engineering, because we are more exposed to the industrial. In Malaysia, all of the students who are who finishing for their second year, they have to go to their internship in companies. They have to be exposed like that to know that by the time they graduate, they don't have the shock that you go to work there. And while they are working, we call it that while they are doing the training in Malaysia, the company itself is giving them allowance. So the students have, at least they boost up their mind, okay, I'm working. But most of the students, when they work in the company, when they do the training, when finish the training, is the company feel that these students really very skillful, very they're comfortable with the students, then they contract them and work with them. We have one students, actually PhD students, who are working in our mother company, Safdar Dynamics. He is a PhD doctor, and I met him. He really likes. We feels that okay. I learned a lot of things in Malaysia in the company. Then by the time it's done the contract, then he will come back to Pakistan. So at least they share the information and knowledge together.
So what's the standard of the libraries, laboratories, and other your human resource being utilized? Especially, I'm talking in the light of your own university. What's potential you have to attract the students to your university?
We have the program, the quality of the program, which is the program also recognized worldwide, and we have a lot of research or working together with other like in Indonesia, we do the robotics, which is we get a first prize, and we always come out with seminars and conference together. So that's why from our part, from our organizations, we welcome everybody to have even as a faculty exchange. I have one student, actually he is a PhD researcher. He just wants to learn how to teach, what is the way that you are teaching the students. We call it teaching the learners, training for the trainers. He actually came and learned everything, and he experienced to teach the students, Malaysian students and foreigner students like Koreans and China. So from our part, we still give a little bit of allowance for them because of they are helping us and do the research in our place.
Dr. Sir, you have been in UK and USA, but you have selected Malaysia to have an
collaboration. Yes.
Why? What is the reason?
So that's a very good question. Thank you so much. One reason, I really love Malaysian people. Wonderful friends. I always had very good friends when I was a student in Malaysia. In London. Many Malaysian students used to come. I remember in '88 when I was in London, so almost 20 students in my class, they were Malaysian students. So that was the time when Dr. Mahathir had the policy, he was sending all Malaysian students to Europe and US.
Yes.
The reason was that this is how he brought the actually change within the country. He said, students will go abroad, they will study, they will come back, and they will implement the best practices they have seen abroad. And I have seen really that this is how he changed the overall economic system of the country. Now, one reason, sure, I had a very strong link with those students. Those kids, they were students at that time, now they are professors in different universities. So it's easy for them to approach. Number two, financial reasons. Malaysian universities are still way inexpensive compared to European and American universities. Number three, it is very easy for Pakistani students to get visa of Malaysia compared to European countries and the US. Number four, when they go over there, they are really very nicely welcomed everywhere. When I'm in Kuala Lumpur, I'm just walking like I'm in Lahore. So no fear at all. So and people are walking around and I'm talking to them. I really enjoyed everything. Food street is beautiful in Malaysia wherever you go. Delicious food, Chinese food, Malaysian food, Taiwanese, Indonesian,
yes.
Thai, from all over the world.
Yes, all over the world.
So and inexpensive as well. Let me tell you, compared to Pakistan, Malaysia from food point of view is very inexpensive. Still within 100 rupees, which is less than $50, you can have a very good food over there. So it's, food they have very nicely controlled by the government.
Varieties of food,
yes. And affordable.
Affordable.
One more point, once I was in Kuala Lumpur, I went into a mall and I saw mangoes, Pakistani mangoes,
Yes.
sold over there. One mango was $10.
Yes.
That was the price of the mangoes. And I was totally shocked. Yes. $1, $10 US.
I love that mango.
One mango.
Very sweet.
It's very sweet. So this is how the market was.
Friends, Dr. Ijaz Qureshi, Dr. Lina Thiaw are with us. So we meet after a short break. Thank you.
Talon, Institute of Higher Studies. Choose Talon IHS and you'll put yourself ahead of the competition when the time comes to begin your career. If you're interested in starting a business, the Talon Entrepreneurship Center offers resources and support for student-led startups.
My name is Dr. Ijaz Qureshi. I am the founding director, Talon Institute of Higher Studies. Talon Institute, Lahore is affiliated with Lincoln University College, Malaysia. We are approved Higher Education Commission institution in Lahore. You will be glad to know that Lincoln University College, Malaysia stands at 35th in quality of higher education in the world. So Times Higher Education ranking. We are offering business programs, which is BBA, Bachelor in Computer Science, and Bachelor in Media Studies, which is MassCom. All our programs are fully recognized by the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. Degree is issued by the Lincoln University College, Malaysia. So this degree is fully approved by the Government of Malaysia.
A journey through Talon most transformational experiences, giving you a unique opportunity to experience true personal and professional growth during your time with us. Talon, Institute of Higher Studies. Admissions open now.
Welcome back, friends. Dr. Ijaz Qureshi, Dr. Lina Thiaw are with us, and we are talking about academia-industry collaboration and its impact on the economy. Dr. Lina Thiaw, you have very good standard of your universities, and definitely there would be a good situation of your laboratories and libraries, as you have talked already about that. So what's the situation about curriculum and your other academic programs that can be useful for the Pakistani students?
Like our university, our Unimaya, we have our programs from foundations until a PhD program, which is the curriculum that we have, which is all of the students who want to come to Malaysia to study, especially in our university, they have some of the requirements that they need to fit. So if they don't meet the requirements, we will have them, we call it a prerequisite paper, which is they will teach them like specialized in math or in computer, because we are more specialized in computer science and engineering. And then our curriculum, which is it's already recognized and approved by the Minister of Education Malaysia. So wherever the students come from Pakistan, if they go to Malaysia, to our Unimai to study, after they finish, they can go to worldwide. They can go UK, they can go to US. They can work anywhere, and which is our the person who are teaching, our lecturers, is most of it is associate professor and professor. So they are more they have the quality, which is they really put the students into the system, which is by the time they finish the school, they graduate, they can face the world. That's problem.
So our students usually face some language barrier. So what is the situation in Malaysia? Do you offer some special programs or special courses to improve the language of the students?
The language we are using in our Unimai is English language. So, and most of our lecturers, they are Malaysians and foreigners, which is come from UAE and Arab. So the student have to meet the requirement, which is they have to go for TOEFL or English IELTS test. If they come before the classes start, which is the intake, we have it every February, May, and July, and like this September, they must have English test for Oxford. But we still guide the students we will see which level that they can go, and then we guide them for 3 months English course, especially before they go for their classes. While computer science, they need a lot of codings and they must know English very good before they go inside.
That's wonderful. How many Pakistani teachers are teaching at your university?
I have one Pakistani.
Only one?
Only one. Then that's why I need
So
from
what's the
prof
reason?
to
What's
come.
the reason behind this? Why Pakistanis are not joining, or what's the situation?
Now currently actually in Unimai, that's why I'm here in Pakistan to explore, to get the brands for Unimai. Unimai is a new university, which is we only established in 12 years until now. And we don't expose yet because last time we more focused on the local students. So currently this year we started to expose to everywhere. So that's why there is a few students come from Korea, from China. I have students from Japan, and that's why we have started with Pakistan. Probably the Pakistan students will go to Unimai, and we have different culture.
It shows that you want to have a collaboration with the
Yes.
Pakistani academia, not for the students only, but also for the faculty members as well.
We have exchange for that. So we love if like professor, doctor will teach our students, even though
He
we
is so
have a
busy.
research. we have a conference together, or maybe once a while he can come as a guest lecturers. So the students can expose us. So, oh wow, this is the way that we are learning from different lecturers. Yes.
So, Doctor, what is the situation that the same question, why our Pakistani professors are not teaching at universities? They don't know about this opportunity, or they don't have capability?
Abroad?
Yes.
Okay, that's a very good question. Professor Sandhu, actually what I see is there is a serious lack of awareness. Foreign universities would love to welcome, because 99.99% of foreign universities, they are required by their regulators to have diverse programs. They want that. I mean, they are pushed to do that. If you see that many Pakistani professors go to UK, then they start teaching over there, they settled over there. Many professors go to US. In Far East and in these region, awareness is not there. I mean, Malaysian University, once I visited a few years back, UPM, University Putra, Malaysia, and I had the opportunity to meet the president. Now, as a curiosity, I asked him what kind of programs you have over there. And I should not have asked him because the university is probably over 1,000 acres. Such a big, huge. Okay. And all kind of small jets are there, big jets are there within the campus of the university. They have their own runway. And he said, Ijaz, anything from earth to sun that's in between is taught here in the UPM.
Yes, true.
So that means you talk about nuclear, you talk about textile, you talk about mechanical, civil engineering, you talk about business, you talk about medical. He said, you just name it, everything is available. And again, I was very impressed when I went to the mosque of that university within the campus. Probably, you can say over 100,000 people can play in the hall at one time. That was, and there was no beam, there was no nothing, and the roof was standing like there. So I was, look at the architecture, and they have done that probably 50 years ago. So there is a lot to learn from Malaysia, honestly speaking, for us. Academic system.
That some our Pakistani parents are sending their children to Central Asia, China, and for medical education especially. So if Malaysian universities are so rich in their faculty and other facilities, so why they are not going to that?
I think Malaysian universities have not marketed as aggressively as Western universities or other Chinese universities have done that. Now, what China has done in Pakistan, they have offered special presidential scholarships to Pakistani students. And that's a very good strategy. Because once you build the market, then those who come back to Pakistan after graduating, their kids, their friends, their relatives will be sending their children to the same university. So you give scholarship to one person, then that person will be sending 10 more students over there with their own money to go and spend. So it's a very good strategy. Malaysia has not done yet. I mean, Malaysia offers scholarships to PhD students at very affordable prices, but not the way Chinese government is doing that full scholarship. On the top, they are offering honorarium as well, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 per month. So Chinese universities, the Malaysian universities aren't doing that. So I think this is what need to be done. But maybe Malaysian universities are already having so many foreign students. Middle East bloc, all is there. I mean, so many Middle Eastern students, so many students from Europe and US, they come to study in the Malaysia. So maybe that is the reason that they do not feel the need.
Dr. Inam, you are making some collaboration with different universities in Pakistan. So if our students want to approach directly to your university through your websites, so is it possible to have admissions in your university, and what kind of facilities, especially in fee and in other facilities, you are going to support them?
We are having promotions for the students which is come from Pakistan for this time being. The tuition fee we are giving actually partly a scholarship to the Pakistan student, because we know the rate, the environments here compared to Malaysia people or compared to UK or from China. China is very rich. They would like the students to go out. The university even sponsor the student, 10, 20 students, full scholarship. But from Pakistan itself, the students seem like Indonesia, which is they put their own money, the parents, the efforts, everything is there. So admission is just easy. You just can go to our website. Then you can just scan. We have a barcode there. You just can scan, or you can just contact me. My number is in the website actually, and we can assist.
So, Dr. Lina, we usually look at the universities according to their world ranking. Yes. So what is the position of your university?
My university is not until the first world ranking yet, but it's still manageable. Can't remember in which level they are. But now we are working on a 5-star. 5-star is for a 5-star, which is for exchange students. So more exchange students that we have, the more exposed about our university, then the government is giving us the 5-star.
Yeah. Dr. Sahab, we always keep all these things in your mind because HEC recognize the programs in the perspective of the ranking of the universities. So in our first segment, you talked about some avenues, and we are not matching with the Western continent. So what kind of deficiencies our society have? We are not imparting some education or some awareness or some opportunities to our youth.
I think the biggest gap that I see here that our academic institutions are not working very closely with the industry. And the research that's taking place in the higher education system, unfortunately, is something that's not going to have any impact on the local industry or on the local economy. So then that means whatever we are doing is a waste somehow. Few days back, you have attended, I have attended event of APSA Pakistan, where Chairman Punjab Higher Education Commission very openly said that
Dr. Shahid Munir.
Dr. Shahid Saab, he advised local universities to focus on applied research so that local industry can benefit from that. And I think that's a very good advice and point he raised, that whatever we are doing, if it's not helping the local economy, so what's the use of doing it? If sitting somewhere in Lahore, or other part of Pakistan, someone is picking up any American university, American company, or European company. So what's the use of doing that here if it is not helping your own businesses? So what people need to do here.
But Dr. Saab, our society is pursuing the same, because in a hospital I visited once and I talked about the research standard of the doctors, and they were conducting research on the patients of America, and I questioned them that how this research is useful in our society, because we have different standard of patients, equipment, and other facilities, but the same is going on.
Medical, honestly speaking, is a little bit different, because here you are dealing with the life of a human being. If someone has a heart attack, so we would love to have that person be treated like he or she is treated in New York City, because their technological advancement would help right away.
Exactly.
So, whereas if you come to business models, let's say textile, or let's say construction management or pharmaceutical, these are the business model that emerges with the time. So we cannot have a quick fix for that. So from that point of view, I think we really need to focus on local environment. In the early years, when I just came back from US after 2 decades, I was always looking into the US. I said, no, we should do the things the way Americans are doing. Yes. But now, after spending almost 10 years in Pakistan, I realized, no, I was wrong at that time. We should be doing things the way local economy is doing.
But I think that we are just lacking behind because of some very strict things and very simple things. For example, you were quoting Dr. Shahid Munir's speech at that time. He was saying that Chamber of Commerce should go to the universities and they should select topics for research students in the universities.
Right.
So I think that this is very simple. Students are making research on different topics, and if some applied form of research or especially topics are given to the students, so they can be used for the industry and other environment.
I think his advice was really wonderful, and first time I have seen probably a chairman of Provincial Higher Education Commission talking on these things. It's a very dynamic gentleman, scientist trained in the Europe. So I think what his point was basically that things would be much better for universities if they start working with the local industry. So the platform of Chamber of Commerce and Industry has given is that instead of going to the companies, let's go to the Chamber of Commerce, meet the different business units over there, involve your faculty with that. If somebody is in finance, he should be working on finance. If someone is manufacturing, service industry, let's get into those industries with the help of Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So even it's a mechanism that will help to expedite the process. If somebody is going directly to the company, maybe they will not understand. But if they are going through the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, then president of the chamber or vice president of the chambers would be easily help them to connect with that specific industry.
Dr. Saab, do you think that if our owner or industrialists are well versed in studies, especially from European universities or other Western institutions, they can perform well?
I think our industry is really very welcoming. I have worked 2 years in Sialkot. I was vice chancellor of a local university over there. I've seen that industry is very, very welcoming. In fact, industry is sitting and always waiting that somebody from academia should come and start working on some of their projects.
Excellent.
So when I was over there, I know most of my students during the summer, they used to go on paid internship. Sialkot's industry is very dynamic in this. I mean, they would pay the student to come and learn something from them. So all universities need to do is put some effort, build a trustworthy relationship so that they can trust them, and they then once they are trusted, then finances are not the really constraint.
But Dr. Saab, in Western society, they have some trust, they have established some trust and they are funding the students. So, but we don't have culture here.
So that's where I think Dr. Shahid's point come that academia must approach industry through Chamber of Commerce, prove that we can add value into that. I mean, I remember when I was in University of Lahore, I was dean over there for 4 years. I used to go to the local industry and I used to tell them, hey, look, I am sending my faculty member to your company for 1 month.
Was there any positive response for them?
Very, very, very positive response. So I used to send all my faculty in the summer. I said, you are not going to pay them a penny. University is already paying them salary. They will just come work with you for free. And they were very happy with that, that somebody is coming to work for free. And what happened? Once they work 1 month, after 1 month, they would say, hey, why don't you come whenever you have time free? And they will pay your transportation, other expenses as well. So this is how you build that trustworthy relationship.
Dr. Leena, you have listened the talk
Yes.
and the relationship between academia and
Yes.
industry. So what is the situation in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, we do actually have that kind of, we call it the procedure, which is all of the students, even the faculty members, the students before they finish, they finish graduate, they have to go for internship, they have to go to learn something in the organizations. So it's a part of their program to get
So
it further.
what's the standard of that internship? We have also internship programs. Our students go to the industry, some offices or some other places.
Yes.
And sometimes they are paid.
Yes.
But what is the standard that we think that in our society, this activity is not so beneficial for the students? I may be wrong. So
but
how I want to know that how we can make it more useful for the students.
But we, like in Malaysia, we have all of the university, they must have a collaborators or institution or companies, which is they have work together.
Is it mandatory?
Yes, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. So the students have to finish their 6-month internship. Then only they can go back and there is one of the from the company itself to evaluate them. From there only they will allow.
So this evaluation must be an honest report.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, they have to be in the report, and then when they see if this student is passed or not for the industrial, because there is a marks for that. They give a result for that.
Okay. So Dr. Sab, what do you expect from this visit or this collaboration with the university Dr. Leena belongs to? So it would be very beneficial for our students, and what avenues you are thinking to avail to make it a successful program?
Professor Sandhu, University of Malaysia of Engineering and Technology, they have very strong expertise in technology and engineering. And all their regular program like media studies program at undergraduate level is very seriously focused on technology. So what I am looking into it that my student would visit very soon, inshallah, to her university for exposure. Maybe it would be a 10 days visit. So we would love to have our students interacting with your students. Then same I will do with the faculty as well. 3 or 4 faculty members we will send over there for a week, and they will interact with your faculty. Just see how they are doing things. They see what are the best practices they have adopted from the industry and brought into the university, and then we will implement those here as well. At the same time, she has been very kind to offer special scholarships to Pakistani students for their academic programs. That we will do it. I'm looking into online programs at higher studies level, at research level, to collaborate with them as well, inshallah. So we are looking forward to collaborating on those.
Dr. Leena, if you want to say anything which I could not ask from you, so you are most welcome if you have some message to the Pakistani youth or universities, please.
For me, like you see, all of the students or even people from a different country, we have to be positive. We have to make sure to grab the knowledge, because nowadays technology is here, and you cannot be step behind. You have to go forward to grab. Like last time, we don't even have online. We don't have anything like we call for food or even study right now is under online. So you will see the developed country, not from even Pakistan or even from Malaysia, in a developed country, in UK, we not like we want to take their things, but we want to take their knowledge. We want to take what they have, the positive side, so we can bring our own country to be better, to be acknowledged by everyone in the world.
Dr. Lina, thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dear viewers, we talked about a very important topic or subject, industry and academia, their collaboration with each other and its impact on economy. So I assure you that if you or the other stakeholders understand this reality, that collaboration creates some new avenues of prosperity. This is important in the modern times to have collaboration between industry and academia. So I'm sure that our youth can benefit from this opportunity Dr. Lina has provided us. So thank you very much. Stay blessed. Khuda Hafiz.